Super Rugby. This is the game. Folks, how's everybody doing? There's a whiteboard behind me. Excuse me, I haven't kind of cleaned it up yet. I've done a little bit to obscure the score of the previous game. But given the score of the previous game has bearing on what is needed here for this game, I'm kind of going to work on the assumption that if you're here, you know the result of the Blues and Waratahs game. Daniel says, come on, Moana. I get the feeling a lot of people who are neutrals will be supporting Moana for this one. Hollywood says, howdy. Goodness me, Hollywood. What time is it where you are at? Been watching the Stanley Cup, the NHL playoffs. 32 cents, first time catching the stream. Ben, good timing then. I wasn't sure which game to stream, Because it's a pretty big weekend. I was tempted to do one yesterday. And then my dad said he was going to come over today early, but he didn't want to stay for a stream. So I watched the Blues game with him at home. I figured I'll stream this one because it's kind of important to see how the season is going to play out. The result of this one. Just back from Eden Park. Did Aucklanders know this was a must-win game, Pascal? Yeah, I get the feeling Aucklanders have been a little bit more captivated by the Warriors and Auckland FC this season somehow. Oh yeah, I need to adjust the score. Page. Interact. Let's scroll this down a little bit. How does that look? There. That'll do. That will show the score and the clock later. Kiwi man, how's it going? Tom says, congratulations to your Blues. Amazing win. Yes, so there are spoilers for the Blues game, as I mentioned, if you guys haven't seen it. But the Blues getting a win with the bonus point means Moana Pasifika need to match the Blues on points, so that the Moana needs a bonus point here. So it's a big old ask. They may not even win, but just a win is not going to be enough. Anticlimactic ending, Hollywood. Yeah, maybe. Tyrell Lomax is coming out with a couple of kitties hand in hand. 2 cents happy Blues are peaking at the right time. Oh, man, I still feel like we've got a pretty big ask ahead of us, assuming Moana don't get a bonus point win here. If we play the Chiefs, which we will, yeah, that's looking like a big old ask, isn't it? But hey, they'll give it a crack. They will give it a crack. Ben says, up the Blues. Good man. What the hell are those little crown things? That's new in the chat? Or is it only me that can see that? Anyway. Time to crack open a beer. Cheers, everybody. It is time for Moana to take on the Highlanders Hurricanes from down in Wellington. Artie Savi has returned to the capital city. Hey, and Milo, aka Junaid, just joined in the Gazamania stream. Cheers, man. My son's just started watching One Piece, by the way, Junaid, so I thought you'd be happy to know that, or Milo, whatever you prefer to be called. What did you think of the knock-on in the Brumbies game? I remember watching the Brumbies game. I remember there was a late try for the Crusaders from a maul. Is that where we're talking? Tom says, cheers, bro. Cheers, man. CJB says, let's go Canes. Milo says, like the stream. What beer am I drinking? I am drinking Tui, which is a absolutely nothing flash beer. But it's relatively inexpensive. Those are my last 2 bottles before I got to buy some more beers. What should I get next time? Maybe some Spates. The game is underway. This clock is not under my control. It's under Rugby Pass's control. It likely updates as the game goes on. It'll probably be slightly behind. I'm at 30 seconds as of now, if you're watching along at home. It's going to be an interesting game, says Lion. Well, Moana Pasifika has won an early penalty, so that'll get them some territory. So not a bad way to start off. Aileron, man, how's it going? Crown is for a leaderboard sort of thing. Okay, there we go. Do I have to do anything? Anything I have to manage? Or is that kind of automatic? Blues did pretty well today, Kahu. Yeah, the Blues did alright. It wasn't the prettiest game, but boy did we put on some points. Rico got going. That was nice to see. Auto. I love that. Thank you for the news, Milo. Bruh, why has this changed? Don't do that. Why is that not updating Rugby Pass? You're supposed to show the score, man. Well, it's a battle of the turnovers at the minute. Hurricanes are just 1-1. So you're about 15 seconds difference between me and the game. If I'm behind, that probably works pretty well. If I'm ahead, then I'm dropping spoilers, but you can always pause the stream, but you got to remember the chat doesn't get paused, so it can drop spoilers. Think your Blues can knock off the Chiefs in Hamilton. Honestly, and I don't mean to sound like an arrogant Aucklander here, but I do think of the three teams that could have made sixth, Moana, us, and the Tars, the Blues have got the best chance of the three of knocking the Chiefs off. But would I say any of them are likely to do it? No. Just a slight brag, Chiefs are looking good, Aileron. You can say that, I think, pretty safely. You do have some injuries, though. My colleague didn't like you, but I didn't like him, so I always put you on when he was around. There you go. I'm glad to be of use in annoying your colleague. Never thought of that angle, but that makes sense. The Moana guys have just had their tight head prop go off. He looks alright, though. Canes have got some ball going down the wing, but Devery has just spilled it into touch, so it's a missed opportunity. Still 0 apiece. Alex says, do you have a favourite team in the top 14? I don't really have a favourite team in the top 14. The closest I have is La Rochelle, in the fact that the first ever jersey I bought from the top 14 was a La Rochelle jersey. And that was actually before they were good, when they were still kind of an up-and-coming team. So I felt like I kind of got in on the ground floor. And then also, I've only met in person one French guy who knew me from the channel, which was random because I met him in Onehunga here in Auckland. And he was a Po fan from the mountains. So that was kind of a connection that I don't have with some of the other teams. So that's about as connected as I am with any of the top 14 sides. 4 minutes in, by the way, still 0-0. Chiefs forwards are fine. Our backs are being thinned out, says Aileron. Yeah, you got D-Mac. Be interested to see what the prognosis is on Tupaya's eye. Obviously, ALB's still out. But Stevenson's looking the business in the back line as well, isn't he? Narawa missed the last game. Second favourite New Zealand team after the Blues. You know, I've always said the Chiefs. But I might be leaning more towards Moana now, given that they're another Auckland-based team. And they've actually got a good storyline this year with Artie and whatnot. Their social media team's doing some good work, so I am definitely there with a soft spot for Moana. 5 minutes in. Moana put in a box kick. And Love's going to have a run. Oh, he's just thrown an intercept. Here we go. Oh, that's a gift of a try. If I'm too loud, by the way, on the microphone, let me know, because I was yelling and it went red on the little soundbar thing. Tupo Tailoa. He's the man that finishes it off. That comes from Ruben Love having a crack and just chucking an intercept ball. Alamalo with the intercept. I'm just going to take a wee note. Excuse me if I'm quiet. I'm writing Love a crack from his own half, but pass intercepted. Alamalo. Tailoa support line. And it is 7 points to 0 for Moana Pasifika. That's the flying start they needed. Don't give up on Moana. Exactly. 2 more tries, call the game off, and they will be into the playoffs in 6th spot. My Blues will be out. Great start, Moana Pasifika, says Tom. Yeah, boy, says Kiwi. So if the Canes lose, the Reds can sneak a second life, if I'm correct, Kahu. If the Canes lose and the Reds beat the Drua, then yeah, they'll take 4th spot, which gives you a higher chance of being the lucky loser. How could the Reds would only be out if they lost and a team above them lost. So like if the Chiefs lost in some miracle game against like the Blues and the Reds lost, then the Reds would be done. Landers were always our second team, a long time Moana Pasifika ruins it, says Alaran. Yeah, that's true. I've had a soft spot for various New Zealand teams at various different points, to be honest. Like the Canes, back when they had Nonu and Umanga and whatnot, were a pretty sexy team to watch. Conrad Smith. The Landers were kind of that plucky underdog team. The Crusaders, though, I've never had a soft spot for. Canes have just won themselves a penalty deep in Moana's 22. Do they go for sticks or do they go for the corner? I would guess corner. Indeed, they are going for the corner. I really wish all the teams went back to Adidas. Not a big fan of classics. I wasn't that big a fan of the Adidas jerseys in terms of the comfort factor. But admittedly, I don't have any of the classic jerseys, do I? No. I only have this jacket I'm wearing, which is classic. GR says, come on, Canes. Blues fans are definitely on your side right now. Maul time. Inching closer. They got advantage. And over. Devery's gone over in the corner. It is 7 points to 5. That's a perfect reply from the Hurricanes. That's one step further away from a bonus point for Moana. It's good news from the Blues. Best Landers team had all the Smiths and the awesome 10. And Fekitoa, the 13. Yeah, that's true. Ben Smith, Aaron Smith. Yeah, they had a pretty good team for a while, eh? At the start, it looked like all the underdogs could vault this year. The Force, the Landers, the Drua have faded. I'm hoping for all of them next year, says Hollywood. I'm particularly gutted that the Force, who were in a position to get themselves in the knockout stages, went on the bye and then drew with the Canes in a game they could have won. Like, the Canes had to travel all the way out to Perth, whereas the Force were on the bye with a week to get ready for it. It's a draw, and then the Force lose every game from then on out. Like, they had a tour of New Zealand, which is not going to be easy, but they didn't get even like losing bonus points in their games. They were getting well beaten. So, yeah, the end of the season just absolutely fell off a cliff for them, which sucks. Who was the 10? You mean it's the Sopawanga time? Blues are back, baby. Never in doubt. I'll take that. All part of the plan. Trying to get teams to write us off, maybe. Moana have just executed a perfect counter ruck, so they got some attacking ball. The bus takes it up the guts. Pellegrini shifting it wide to the big boppers. There's big Julian Artie. But they're going backwards, Moana. Well, Artie's putting a little chip and chase. Doesn't work out. Is this the best crowd for the Canes this year? Maybe, the return of Artie is certainly a factor. I'm not sure what's been going on with the Canes crowd this year. They reckon that with so many government jobs having layoffs, that might have affected the people with, disposable income to go watch the rugby. I don't know what the Phoenix crowds have been like in comparison. Uh-oh. Sullivan close with a bit of turnover ball himself. Gee, this is helter-skelter at the moment. Sopawanga, that's him. The reverse over the head chip was amazing. Sopawanga, good player in his PK. Blues don't want to be the hometown bullies in the finals. Yeah, that's all part of the plan. Imagine winning Super Rugby from 6th. It'd be a hell of a storyline anyway. Anyone else's game glitching? Mine is all right so far, Mr. Milo. Mine is all right so far. If anyone else wants to join Milo as a channel member, by the way, I believe it's only 99 cents. And you get little icons and stuff. I turned that on 6 weeks ago. Haven't done enough live streams in the time, though. Imagine being flogged in the first round, Aileron. It might well happen. The Chiefs might just put the Blues to the sword if we end up making it. Right now, the Blues are through. Because this game's still tied up 7 points apiece. Flanders, oh my giddy aunt. He's replicating a bit of Adi Savia himself. Whether we dink through and gather, come on. No way. What is this with all these loose forwards doing this stuff? Hey, Kiwi gifted some memberships. Cheers, man. There we go. Now you know where Artie gets his kicking from, the Hurricanes. That's the one. Devin Flanders, the loose forward, if you missed it, just put a little dink and kick through, gathered it himself, went over for try time. Nice wide ball. Sullivan with the inside pass. Dink, past the fullback. Perfect bounce, gather, try time. We are 14 points to 7 with the Canes up. That means the Blues are currently still going through to play the Chiefs. And yes, Mr. Milo, I'll have to stop slacking off with the live streams. We'll do some more. Lions Tour live streams could be interesting as well. All Blacks France. Some big games coming up. But still, we got to get club rugby season done first. URC playoffs. Super Rugby playoffs. That's out on the full. Pellegrini. Who's your favorite URC team? Do I have a favorite URC team? One team that I've always wanted to win a trophy is the Sharks, because they were always the bridesmaid in Super Rugby. So they are certainly a team I would like to see lift the trophy. Although they've kind of become a bit of a villain by having a rich owner that keeps buying up everyone else's players at the moment. So I'm not sure if that's the same as the kind of old feeling. They're not like an underdog by any means, but yeah. How happy will the Brumbies be to have this Canes team roll into town? Well, the Canes and Brumbies played pretty recently, didn't they? And the Canes managed to beat them, from memory. It was like their first win in Canberra for ages, so I think that was right after that draw against the Force for the Canes. That's where they really got their season rolling, eh? Charlotte, good morning, 2 cents. How did the Blues do? They won emphatically, Charlotte. So currently the Blues are in the driver's seat to slide on into the playoffs, just barely in 6th. Moana Pasifika not only need to win this game, but win it with a bonus point to knock the Blues down into 7th. And as you can see by the scoreline, it's currently not going their way. If things stay like this, then my Blues are through. Sharks won the B Cup last year. That is true. They won the Challenge Cup, which I don't follow. But that is true. That is a major trophy. Is it a major trophy? It's a major trophy. I was thinking more like Heineken Cup or URC trophy. It is great for the Blues. They actually really looked decent at times. It wasn't the prettiest game, but yeah, it was an emphatic win. Much needed. Moana has just survived a huge period of Canes pressure as we approach the 19-minute mark. Kind of surprised how the Stormers played against Glasgow, Alex. The Stormers have been like a real Jekyll and Hyde team all year. Like the Stormers putting 50 points on pretty much anyone wouldn't be surprising, but then also the Stormers missing however many tackles they missed today, like 38 or whatever it was, almost in a way doesn't feel surprising. So yeah, it's just they dropped ball and couldn't make tackles, eh? I was expecting better from them, though. I tipped Glasgow, but only by like 1 point, and it was much more emphatic than that. Like the stream, can we get to 30 likes? We've got 35 viewers. I would like to think we could achieve the goal of 30 likes. Let me know how we go, because I can't actually see the likes from my end. I can only see viewers. Can anyone stop South Africa from hosting another final? Leinster needs to win to stop that happening, eh? Leinster needs to win against Glasgow, so all South African fans will be back in Glasgow next week. That's assuming Leinster beat the Scarlets, which they should do because it's like first against eighth, but, you know, sports, funny things happen. All right, line out time, Moana Pasifika, just outside their own 22, 19 and a half minutes in. Whoa, they've lost the line out. They're going to go immediately back under pressure. Kind of forgot the Canes don't have Geordie this year, Milo. Yeah. They've been firing, eh? Once they got Proctor back, I think, not just him, but they've certainly started to click. They looked pretty average at the start of the season. Brett Cameron being back's good too. Ruben Love's played the house down at 10, even if he's at 15 tonight. There's been some encouraging signs. Stats on Glasgow Sharks game were mad. Turnover, tackle stats all over the place. Yeah, Charlotte. The Glasgow game this morning, for me anyway, yesterday afternoon in Europe, the Stormers dropped an unbelievable amount of ball and just couldn't make tackles. It was not the kind of performance you want to put out when it's the season on the line kind of game, put it that way. Or Munster and Edinburgh win their quarters. That's also true, Pascal. That could also stop a South African potentially host final. Seems unlikely, but again, sports, right? The team on paper that you think is going to win often doesn't. So it's part of the reason we watch. With the Blues winning, does this put them in the playoffs, Grace? It does. We're in 6th, and we will stay in 6th as long as Moana Pasifika don't get a bonus point win. Oh, Whineanganofo, what a unit. Here goes Flanders again. As long as Moana Pasifika don't get a bonus point win in their game here. So currently, Grace, we are through. Even if Moana Pasifika would have scored 2 more tries and go in front, they still wouldn't be doing enough. I always hear amazing things about Love, comparing him to young Bodie. Do you see it? I don't know if he's got the same pure pace that young Bodie had, eh? But he's certainly very creative. He's got good footwork. And he's not slow. But I mean, just Bodie when he was young was absolute lightning. He's still pretty quick now. Quick off the mark. Really great acceleration. Cameron is back, but Canes look much faster with Love at 10. Yeah, it is a bit of a rejig, eh? It's always a danger when you got the team humming to then make a change like that. Love did have that pace, but hasn't had it post-injury. Yeah, he's not had it this year in terms of like that raw, especially pure acceleration. Like I feel like there are guys that had better top-end speed than Bodie when he was young, but his acceleration off the mark was just incredible. Is Almua on the bench? Let me double check because I can't remember. No, Tupu's on the bench. Almua's not on the squad. Speaking of, how was Rico caught by Callaway tonight? I guess Callaway's pretty quick as well. Here goes Tavita Offa. Oh my goodness. He's caught by Cameron, otherwise he was potentially going to go all the way. All kinds of pressure now for the Canes. They haven't had to defend for quite some time. Now they're in their own 22. Oh, Julian, the bus is back in town, but he can't find Lalomilo with that final ball. And the Canes kick clear. Goodness me, that looked like a try for all money. Tavita Ova. Look at him go. It looked for a second like he might go the whole way once he put the fender on Sullivan. Cameron with the good tackle. Artie with the wide pass to his brother. Straight through Roygaard. Brought down by Lakai. Offload from the deck, but can't quite find the support player. Man, that was rough. So if Moana Pasifika lose or don't get a bonus point, does that mean we would stay in the playoffs? You got it, Grace. That is 100% correct. If Moana Pasifika can't get a bonus point win, then we stay sixth. There's only one result that sees them through. They need a bonus point win. Who reckon Vern Cotter's watching this? I reckon he probably is. I reckon he's probably watching this one with a little bit of interest. Bumped off by both Xavier brothers for Cameron Roygaard. Man, that's like a badge of honor. There's no shame in getting bumped off by the Xavier brothers, eh? Julian Xavier the bus and Artie the train. Yeah, imagine feeding those two kids when they were growing up, eh? I bet they were full of beans in the backyard. Could easily see Moana scoring 4 tries. Holding off the Canes is less likely, says Pascal. Yeah. Because right now, they need 1 try just to get even. And then, like you say, they need 3 more and not to let the Canes get any more. So it doesn't seem like a very likely scenario, but sports. When does a team get a bonus point, Grace? The ones we're talking about here is the try bonus points. So you need to get 3 more tries than your opponent. So currently the Canes have got 2 tries and Moana's got 1. So they would need to get 3 more than the Canes have got. So they would need to get 1 more, makes it even 2 apiece, and they need to get 1, 2, 3 more. So they would need to have 5 tries to 2. If the Canes score again, then these guys need to get 6. 3, you know what I mean? So it needs to be 3 more tries than the Canes, if that makes sense. If Moana didn't play so badly last week, I wouldn't mind them playing the Chiefs next week, but I don't want to see another thrashing in the finals, Milo. I do honestly believe the Blues, even if it's a slight chance, have a better chance than Moana do against the Chiefs next week. Karefi has had a year. Elron, bro, we got some very good loose forwards in New Zealand right now. Very good loose forwards. I mean, Simon Parker's having a season for the Chiefs in a different position, but yeah. Razor's got some options in the loose, that's for sure. Xavier playing for them next year too. I forget how long their contracts are. I think Artie's is through to 2027, but I could be mistaken. Against the Blues versus Moana, that's right, that no try, eh? The one that got overturned. I think that was Angus Gardner as well, wasn't it? But not just that, eh? They needed to play better in a few of their games, Moana. They've had a bit of a mixed bag season. Parker is great. Miracle for Moana. Miracle has played for Samoa. I think he's the one player in the Moana side who actually came through like Samoan club rugby. So he's like legit a miracle. Who will the AB's loose forwards be? Artie, Karefi, Satiti. We could have Artie, Karefi, and Satiti. I still wouldn't mind the likes of a Hoskins there at number 8, because I think he's having a good year, but that ain't going to happen. That's my Blues bias coming in. Here goes Ruben Love with the footwork, but nah, he gets brought down. If all games go as expected, the Chiefs play the Blues, Hurricanes and the Crusaders, and the Reds and the Brumbies. Then the final, Crusaders finished second and got a much easier draw. That Crusaders result last night is certainly an important one. But I think right now it's looking like Chiefs, Blues 1 and 6, Crusaders, Reds 2 and 5, and then Brumbies, Hurricanes 3 and 4. Playoffs seems so wrong. The Blues could potentially knock out the Chiefs. Have been dominant. Seems crazy, Charlotte. But the Chiefs would have a second life. The Chiefs will be guaranteed another round, even if they were to lose. So that's just one of the things about this new playoff system. You got Jacobson in the mix for loose forwards. You got Simon Parker potentially as a bolter. You got Samapeni Finau. There's loads of loosies. Blackadder. What kind of weird system is running here, Pascal? So, the way it works this year is the top 6 qualify. So, the first round is simple because 1 plays 6, 2 plays 5, and 3 plays 4. But then that only leaves you with 3 winners. So, 3 can't go into a next round. You need 1 more team. So, from the first round, where it's 1 plays 6, 2 plays 5, 3 plays 4... the highest ranked team that loses will get a second life, if that makes any sense. So, assuming 1, 2, and 3 all win their home games, then Team 4, even if they lost, will get another life. Yep, that's the way it's going to work. Don't know if the Crusaders are playing well. They might get knocked off next week against the Reds. I feel like the Reds are a team who could beat anybody on their day, but I don't know that the Reds can put in 3 performances for a title, But that's not what your point was. Your point was that the Crusaders might lose. You might be right, but assuming the Chiefs win, then the Crusaders would still get a second life as well. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. They still beat the Brumbies, but it was a bloody arm wrestle. It's likely that Blackadder gets in the squad just like Harvey, the ex-Saders and mates of Razor. I do feel like we will see a decent chunk of Crusaders in the All Blacks, yes. Super Rugby really loves convoluted, don't they, Pascal? I assumed it would be 6 teams. You just send team 1 and 2 into the semi-finals on a bye. So then you get 3 plays 6 and 4 plays 5. And then, they kind of progress. I've seen other competitions in the world where the top qualifiers get a rest, but then they would be having 1 fewer knockout game, right? 1 less knockout game. So this way they get more games in, I assume, is the way they've done it so convoluted. So it's the lucky loser. Yeah, not exactly intuitive. Grace, yeah, the Chiefs are top of the table. If Harvey makes the ABs are lost. Harvey's been in decent form, but he's one of those guys that never seems to quite replicate it at test level. The Canes are inches away from the Moana line, but Moana once again has won themselves a turnover. Was that Adi Savia? No way. Switched off the game after the horrendous forward pass for the Canes' second try was allowed. The one that led up to the Flanders try. Sometimes a bye is bad too. Yeah, I get that there's the idea that you kind of might lose a bit of match sharpness, but I feel like it's a good chance to recover any broken bodies and, heal some niggling injuries. But yeah, I don't know. I think the NRL used to do a buy for them, didn't they? I'd have a look at some stats to see what the numbers were like. Did the higher qualified teams still usually win? We didn't get Supa yesterday for the Chiefs. I remember he scored a bunch of tries, which was pretty crazy. The guy's got pretty good ball handling for a big old lock. I think lock's pretty decently well stacked in New Zealand at the moment. I think a couple of years ago I might have seen that as a position of a lack of depth, but I think we're right at the moment. Oh man, the Hurricanes have just lost another attacking opportunity. Don't tell me that was Savia again. Sad to say, but I kind of see Harvey as a less impressive Geordie, and I'm a Mercedes fan. Well, as someone else said, he's good at Super Rugby level, but yeah, I just don't think he's quite got a test level from the chances he's been given. My family don't like Sevu Reece. I mean, we are Blues supporters, but also kind of what he's done, Grace. I don't blame you, Grace. I don't blame you at all. Sadly, it seems like he's kind of a shitty person off the field, excuse my language. And I was definitely a guy who gave him the benefit of the doubt after I believe he'd turned his life around the first time. Roigard! Oh my goodness, that's good for the Blues. Roigard, who's had a couple of smashings in this game. Intercept try for the Canes. 19 points to 7. Surely it is about to be 21-7. Moana phases in their own half. Offa, I think it was, just pops the ball and Roigard pinches it, puts the hammer down. Try time. One-handed intercept. Not bad. After those Savia turnovers, just to concede a try like that's pretty brutal. Brutal. And it's converted, so it is indeed 21-7. So Moana need to score 2 tries to get even, and then 3 more tries, uncontested, like unopposed. Cam Roigard, indeed. So far, this is looking good for the Blues. How do the neutrals feel about this? Are you gutted for Moana right now, or are you chuffed for my Blues? This is probably the stupidest question ever. I just want no injuries for the All Blacks players as well. That's also a good call, Milo. There's been a lot of people telling me in the comments, maybe not a lot, but there's been a few people telling me that Super Rugby this year is flipping terrible and that the All Blacks are really going to struggle. So I would like the All Blacks to kind of shove it up some people's noses this year, to be honest. Because I think it's been a good year of Super Rugby. Just so happy for the Canes. There we go. And then kind of just by default, my Blues get some good result out of that. Even your man at Distracted Sports is disappointed. He's definitely been behind Moana this year. Partly because the Blues have not been the easiest team to support this year because they've been playing some pretty dire rugby. We didn't want the Blues going through, sorry. I commend you for your honesty. I figured that was the case, to be honest. Wonder if either of the Southern brothers will make the step up. They've both looked pretty solid at Super Rugby level, but I don't know if they're quite on the fringes just yet. I still think a few steps down the pecking order. Cortez or Cam, who would you start? That's a good question. I honestly think you get better value from Roygaard off the bench than Ratsema off the bench. But I don't know that they don't start Roygaard, if that makes sense. It's another year where the ABs could and maybe should be the top team in the world, but it'll come down to selection and how many of the old guard get in the team despite their form. Good call. How conservative or... Whoa, Umaga Jensen's cutting right through Moana's defensive line. He's got it down. The quest just got a lot harder for Moana. That's... Whew. Are they going to check something? What's there to check? Surely that was just a bit of individual brilliance. I think he grounded it. Beats 1, beats 2, beats 3, beats 4, beats 5. Tackled by Offa and Savia. I'm pretty sure he got it down. That's incredible. Oh, quite incredible. This has been a good half from the Canes. It's a long way back for Moana Pasifika, folks, at 28 points to 7. Long, long way back. It's over for Moana, says Hollywood. Yeah, they could still win the game and it won't be enough. Like, even that would be a massive comeback just to win the game. Would be quite incredible. Looks like the Blues are safe. I still think we're going to get flogged in our next game down in Hamilton, but yeah. I read a story the other day about a player from school rugby who was going to kick for goal but didn't and scored a try. Yes, actually, I saw that. It was on Reddit, I think. Yeah, the dude just kicked it. He kicked it over to the corner. Shouldn't have been a try because you're not allowed to do that. It has to be a genuine attempt at goal. That is definitely not legal. Maybe go here to watch 2 Cents' Adventures in China, says Junaid. And it's... Where? Maybe it's already gone. Anyway, it's there. Two Cents on Tour. In my last video, I got McDonald's in China. I had a scrambled egg wrap and I got a haircut from a dude who told me my hair looked like shit, basically, because I'd cut it myself the last time, but I didn't have the guts to tell him that I'd cut it myself. 2 Cents on Tour. That's me. So I said the Stormers lost last night. Stormers didn't play well, mate, sadly. Yeah, they saved their pretty bad performance for a crucial part of the season. Frankie, how's it going? It has been a while, man. I've been slack on the old live streams. My in-laws are here through that door, the door which you can't see. But I'm kind of hiding out in my room having the live stream on. So get a bit of time and a couple of beers to myself. What can I say? Based on today's efforts, the Blues are the ones that deserve it. Not so much the fans, though. Yeah, the turnout wasn't great. I can't say anything because I didn't go to the game. I did have my parents coming over, which is part of the reason I was tempted to take my son. But, Yeah. CJ is a ride or die Kane supporter, but Umaga Jensen is another great Super Rugby NPC player, but not up to test level. Yeah, maybe. Even Charlotte's giving us a reminder about the likes. Thank you, Charlotte. 53 watching, 29 likes. 53 watching. Mine says 38 watching. Maybe mine's not updating. Alaran's off for an afternoon walk. All right, man. Take it easy. Fingers crossed Moana can't pull off a miracle. I am waiting for the halftime Gaza messages. Yes, Junaid. It is coming. Alex, curious, what online store do you get most of your jerseys from? I would say the number one store I have bought most of them from would be Lovell Rugby, because they have a lot, or Rugby Heaven. They're both stores in the UK. Rugby Heaven is great for bundling shipping, because Lovell Rugby you have to pay shipping per each item, whereas Rugby Heaven will bundle it all with one shipping cost, which when you're shipping to New Zealand is a big deal. And they got some really good end-of-line stuff, Rugby Heaven. You can get them a lot cheaper. Right. Let's see my dad's messages. Well, let's listen to them. We're not going to see them because you can't see audio stuff with human eyes.
Yeah, well, I think the Hurricanes are going to win this game all right, Mark. They're playing well. Moana Pasifika aren't playing badly. But I think the Hurricanes have just got too much class. I think, they want to win this game. Do I give Moana Pasifika a chance? Well, they're going to have to come from a long way back. And can they do it well? I possibly, maybe could do, but I probably won't. And that's no disparagement to them because they've had a great season. And they are a really good team. And if they get a few more reinforcements next year, they'll even be better than what they are this year, depending whether Hardies are there. Goes on a sabbatical or stays with them. Now, he's playing pretty well. They're all playing pretty well. Hurricanes are playing well. And the Moana Pasifika aren't disgraced. If they have a big second half, they could rattle the Hurricanes' cage. We'll think the Hurricanes know they have to win this game and win it solidly, comfortably. And, just win it. Bonus point or not, doesn't matter. Nobody's playing really badly. And Roy Gardner and Umaga Jets have just got two good tries. Right down in that Hurricanes team, I think they're the only team that could actually beat the Chiefs, but I could be wrong. I don't know. But I'm going on last year's result. That's a completely different season, so don't take too much notice of that. Not a bad game. Angus Gardner, well, I give him 13. I must be getting bloody
13?
soft to my old age.
Almost, Milo.
He's done quite well.
13. High ranks.
So did Nick Berry. I'd have given him a 13 in the Blues game tonight against the Waratahs. So I must be getting a bit soft to my old age.
He must be.
I think when we stayed into this stage of the season, it's getting a bit hard for the refs. And maybe because I'm getting old and stupid, I'm getting a bit lenient on them. But I think the Hurricanes will win this game. Artie Sevilla's playing well. And everybody's doing their job. And both teams had a couple of injuries, but I don't think it's anything too serious. And there's been some good tries, good by the Hurricanes and a good one by Moana Pasifika. So yeah, that's about where I'm at by that. I'm enjoying it. Yep. And we'll see where it goes. Who's playing well? Well, nobody's playing badly for the Hurricanes or Moana Pasifika. Really, it's everybody's giving it their all, and that's all we can ask. Does Hurricane Eve have a few All Blacks? Well, I hope so, because they deserve it. But we'll just have to wait for Scott Hot Robertson and Ryan and company to see what they actually do. There's going to be a lot of bloody players miss out, that's all I know. And it's always a shame, but that's the way it's always been and always will be. So we'll enjoy this game and, take it from there.
He's getting a bit tired, I think.
Both these teams are well coached and got a well-trodden path. Speak to you in 45 minutes. Gazzlemania, Roger Mania out by.
Well, there you go. That's Gaz's thoughts. 13 out of 20 for the ref. That is indeed quite high. Quite high for him. I can hear my kids playing. Jeez, can you hear that? I'm glad you have 2 hours to yourself. Must be odd working from home with there all the time. Yeah, it is a bit different with my in-laws staying with us for the next few months. But I haven't had to do any cooking for the last 3 weeks. So comes with its perks, I suppose. It looks like the Blues are after the playoffs. It does look like that. Someone asked, is it easier for fans from South Auckland to get to Hamilton than to Eden Park? I don't think so. It's like an hour and a bit drive from South Auckland down to Hamilton. It's over 100k. It's like 20k's into Eden Park. So it depends on the traffic. Auckland traffic can be pretty bad, but the out of Auckland traffic can be just as bad. So I still think it's easier to get to Eden Park, even if you live in South Auckland. Parking still kind of sucks around Eden Park, though. That part is a bit of a pain. You have to park far from the stadium and then walk over, basically. Moana had a really good season. They're my team after the Chiefs. They've got heart, says Absolute Corruption. Yeah, it looks like they are going to fall short because they would need a hell of a comeback just to get in front and then a bit more just to get the bonus points. So, seems like a tough one. Seems like a tough one. Damn parking at Eden Park, says Milo. Indeed. You tend to have to park at least a good 15-minute walk away from the stadium and then walk over because there ain't no parking there. You can get the train, in which case you can just get off basically right next to the stadium. When we went to Eden Park, you caught the train, Grace. That's probably the way to get it done. Last time I went to Eden Park, I took a bus and then transferred to the train. It kind of sucks having to explain to the bus driver that, hey, I get a free bus ride because I'm going to Eden Park. And then the bus driver's like, this bus doesn't go to Eden Park. But it's like, but I get free trip on the bus because I'm going to Eden Park. I'm going to catch the train. I'm going to transfer. That part's not fun. I feel like the bus company probably just sends everyone an email and they don't read them. I don't know. It's a small thing to worry about. It is still halftime, Grace. I forgot to regale you with the stats from halftime. The Canes have had 65% territory. They've had 64% possession. So they have been dominating the kind of traditional core stats. The turnovers one is in favor of Moana with 5-4. And 3 of those 5 come from the man Adi Savia. Most defenders beaten is that man Pete Umaga Jensen, who has 5. Numea and Karifi both have 3. I feel like Pete Umaga Jensen probably got almost all 5 of them in that try-scoring play, to be honest. No trains running tonight, though. Oh, that sucks. Maybe that's why fewer people went to the game. Hey, Rugby Itches here. Up the Blues. Going back to back. I'll accept your first statement. Up the Blues. Going back to back. Seems slightly unlikely. But I like the idea. I like the positivity. Let's go with that. Karifi has been amazing. How's he on the tackle count? Karifi. The Canes haven't had to do many tackles. He's got 5. And that puts him as the second top tackler for the Canes. Devry's got 6. Tupulotu's got 15. Saniveri 12. Savage 12. Taumatene 10. Slade 9. Tailoa 9. Yeah, all the top tacklers are Moana Pasifika players. because they have been under the pump. Which quarterfinal in the URC are you most interested in? I was most keen to see the one that's already been played. The Stormers up against Glasgow, because I thought that would be a close game. It ended up not being that close. Next up, we got the Bulls taking on Edinburgh. Bulls are massive favourites. Then you got Leinster taking on the Scarlets. Leinster are massive favourites. And then you got Sharks Munster. Sharks Munster could be a good one. None of the kickoff times are good for me. One's at 11:30 at night, one's at 2 in the morning, and one's at 4:30 in the morning. I would have liked a nice evening kickoff, but not to be. So I will, in all likelihood, watch on demand rather than live, because I need to sleep. Can we get to 40 likes? How many likes are we up to, Milo? We got 42 viewers. Surely we can get 40 likes, please. Do you watch League as well, or only in like Super Rugby Grace? I don't really watch much League. I used to watch it as a kid, but I don't really watch it anymore. 34 likes from Milo's side. 34 likes, 44 viewers. Can we please get a few more? That would be appreciated. Chances on both the Wallabies and ABs beating South Africa and proving the value of Super Rugby. We have the box over here. I believe the Wallabies... Let me have a look. Rugby Championship 2025. I can't even see the fixtures. Round 1. Australia is away at Ellis Park, and then round 2, Australia is away in Cape Town. 1 game at altitude. I don't see Australia winning either of those, I'll be honest with you. I would love to see them get an away win under Joe, but I wouldn't be putting any money on it. The URC is the United Rugby Championship, Grace, which is the one played by the South African teams. They left, kicked out, whichever way you want to look at it. Super Rugby, they went to play over in Europe. So they play the Irish teams, the Welsh teams, the Scottish and Italian teams over in that competition, which is called the URC. International season starting soon. Hollywood. Canada's senior men's team has been crap lately, but the under-20s crushed Samoa, and the women's team won the Pacific tournament. I thought the women's team came second in the Pacific behind the Black Ferns. They did draw with us, though. Second half is underway. It's 40 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. Parker or Grace, who'd you have in the AB squad? Oh, man, you know me. I would need... Oh, my God, here goes Moana to start the second half. Ale malo. I'd have to look at the stats. I'd love to look at the stats. Does your view change in the books if the Wallabies win the Lion series? I still think South Africa seem to have the Wallabies numbers. You know, some matchups seem to work well, like rock, paper, scissors. Some kind of seem to cancel each other out. Some teams just seem to do well against other teams. I feel like the current South African team plays well against the current Wallabies team. Is there a thumbs up button on the stream, or is it a like button on the video by the subscribe button? I'll be honest with you, Grace. I'm not actually sure. But if anyone can guide Grace on how to like the stream, that'd be much appreciated. The view I have on my end is totally different. Oh man, Talmoifalau. How many carries has Talmoifalau had? I feel like we've hardly seen him. Carries. Kyron Talmoifalau. None. He's at 0 until that one just now. Was there something to suggest the South African rugby teams were kicked out of Super Rugby? I thought it was all optional from their end. It is a very messy one, because when COVID hit, New Zealand rugby essentially pushed for a more, like, New Zealand rugby was kind of looking to make things more tight regionally, and they've reduced the travel and time zone problems that Super Rugby had. So they essentially kind of proposed a new comp without South Africa. So moving away from having the South Africans in the comp. So you can look at that as saying they were kicked out. But then prior to that, there'd long been talks between South Africa and the other SANZAR countries that South Africa were not kind of happy with the state of the comp and the broadcast deal, and they were like eyeing up a move to Europe. Like, there were talks about South Africa going to Europe years before COVID, so I feel like it was on the cards for a long time before it actually happened. But COVID was kind of the catalyst, so I think it's a bit of a grey one. But people like to paint everything as black and white, goodies and baddies, kicked out or left of their own accord and whatnot. I think it's, like everything in life, it's a bit of a rich tapestry of multiple moving parts. Chiefs put 135 points on Moana Pasifika in only 2 games in 2025. Lucky Chiefs ain't going to play them again. Next minute. What do the Moana guys need to win by? So they need 5 tries. 5 tries in... Is it 5 or 6? Anyway. Did you watch the Black Ferns against USA? I only saw part of it, but yeah, the USA were absolutely put to the sword. South Africa had one foot in Europe for a while the 2 teams were in the Pro 14. They did. And like I said, there was often talks about how Europe might work better for South Africa way prior to Super Rugby getting changed. Here we go. Pellegrini with some loose ball. Hacks it through. So a bit of, if you want to leave, we'll do our own thing. Yeah, kind of. I feel like it was like a bad marriage that was, looking for a reason to officially file for the divorce. And COVID was kind of the reason. But I think even if there would be no COVID, I do think it would have come to an end at some point, naturally. 6 more tries. Okay, you got better maths than me, Molo. 9 more likes to 50. Thank you, people who have dropped the like. It'd be great to get to 50. YouTube loves engagement. Come on, Moana. I want you to score next. Add a little bit of spice into this one. Is the URC working for the South African teams? I think so. The travel is much less rigorous. They still don't have phenomenal away records. And likewise, teams traveling to South Africa don't have phenomenal away records. But there's less jet lag because you don't have to change as many time zones. It's maybe like 1 hour. So it's almost like negligible from that aspect. They do have to change season. Like you're playing summer, winter, which is kind of a bit of a different kind of thing to get used to. But like the South African teams have done, pretty well in the URC since joining. And I think it's beefed up the depth in that competition by a lot, which is good. Did Moana just kick the friggin' thing dead? Bro, you guys are 28-7 down. My goodness. What do you think of Ruben Love? He's got potential to be a future AB. Yeah, he's been capped already, but he does look like a guy who could get a bunch more caps, eh? Certainly a talented fella. And Pellegrini's had a little bit of a fall off a cliff. Freshman, for sure. He was looking like he should be playing for bloody Australia at the start of the year. Then they dropped him against the Blues at Eden Park. They didn't play him, or they played him from the bench, and then he's not quite had the same impact on the game since then. McMillan's Munster playing against the Chiefs in 2028 would be neat. That would be one of those kind of cool storylines, eh? Playing against your old club. It's like anytime you see like Ronan O'Gara coach against Munster, that's kind of interesting. South Africans are definitely working for the URC. Pro 12 was practically a comp for the bigger sides. Yeah, it didn't have the same depth, eh? It's now got a bit of, a bit less predictability, a bit more spice about it. I'll have to have a look at the stats again about like the travelling record of the teams, because I remember first or second year, a lot of the teams struggled to win down in South Africa, particularly the Welsh, who really struggled. I'd like to see what the South African team's record was like in Europe this year. Even if the finals round is confusing, it does make the final round robin games more interesting. Milo, you are correct, I think, too. Too many years of this new Super Rugby Pacific, the final couple of weeks have been almost like nothing weeks. But there's actually some jeopardy here. Oh my God, how the hell did Umaga Jensen get through? No way should he be getting through there. And was that Lomax that passed him that ball? Come on. No, that didn't just happen. No way. Whoa, nobody's going to want to play the Canes right now. No way should Pete Umaga Jensen be able to get through two guys there. Whoa. That's incredible. Do you think Moana can make a comeback and potentially win? You probably put that question in before this most recent try. Nah, I think their goose is cooked. The Hurricanes are on a how many match winning streak now? They are playing some pretty sublime rugby, but I mean, that's just make your tackles, eh? He literally just rolls two tacklers. You can't be doing that. You're not going to make finals if you do that. Canes are looking scary. They feel like the most likely team of the three lower ranked teams to make the playoffs that actually have a shot. I don't feel like the Reds or the Blues are likely to win their playoff matches, but the Canes will give it a good crack. Moana will finish on 28. Blues are currently on 33, which is level with the Reds, but they are behind the Reds on wins. So the Reds are going to finish 5th. The Canes are going to finish 4th. Yeah, she's all locked up. It's pretty much set in stone now. Brumbies have lost their quarterfinal in Canberra. Yeah. Honestly, at the moment, if you asked me to pick, I'd be picking Chiefs, Crusaders, and Canes in the first round. And that would mean the Brumbies get a second life. If you could pick one team around the world to be the 12th team in Super Rugby, who would you pick? Yours is the Cheetahs. Cheetahs definitely need a competition in which to play some higher level rugby. It seems like a bit of a waste, them doing what they are at the moment. But the thing I do like about Super Rugby at the minute is the regional change has worked in terms of the time zones. Like if the Cheetahs joined and there's long ass flights to South Africa again, I think it kind of defeats the purpose of why they rejigged Super Rugby in the first place, eh? Although it'd be great to get guys going to South Africa again as a real kind of test, playing at altitude in Bloemfontein, but economics of it would be interesting. Unless you base them somewhere else. There's been talk of basing them in like Western Australia or something, but then you've already got the Perth guys like hosting by the Western Force, so yeah, Argentina has the same issue. Argentina is also bloody miles away if you brought back the Juarez. Yeah, it's a good question. Where do you get another team from? People say Japan as well, but Japan's already got their own league set up. They don't want to be competing in Super Rugby. They're quite happy doing their own thing. If the Canes beat the Brumbies next week, who would play the Chiefs and who would play the Crusaders? So if the Chiefs win, the Chiefs go through top. What else did you say? And so the Crusaders go through, and then the Canes beat the Brumbies. Then the Chiefs would play the Brumbies in Hamilton, and the Crusaders would play the Canes in Christchurch. Because the Canes and Brumbies would swap places in terms of their rankings. The Brumbies would come in as the bottom ranked side. Bring back the Rebels. They weren't that bad last year, but the good thing about the Rebels being gone is it seems to have bolstered a bit of the depth in the Aussie teams. Even if it looks like they're only going to get they are only going to get the two teams in the playoffs this year. "55 minutes in. You get the feeling this is just Canes by how much at this point. Blues guys are probably already going out for dinner. What was the question? Does the second live team get the home game if they are higher in the table? The second live team can still get a home game, but they will drop down one position in their rankings. So if the Chiefs lost their first game, they would suddenly be the second ranked home side. Like second ranked side, so it'd be like Crusaders top, Chiefs second, and then let's just say Canes third and Blues fourth, in which case the Blues would then play the Crusaders and the Canes would play the Chiefs, so the Chiefs would be the second top. So you can still host even if you lose. You just drop one spot, is my understanding. Did the Canes score another? Yeah, they did. They scored one through Peter Jensen at the kind of start of the second half. Grace, it was a nice pass from Lomax, and Peter Jensen went through about two different tacklers. Try time. So it's looking pretty emphatic right now. Confusing, but also interesting. Convoluted, yeah. I'm having to write notes just to work the bloody thing out. Who gets a home game in the final? Whoever is the highest ranked one, basically. So if the Chiefs win their two playoff games, then the final will be in Hamilton. Daramundi, hey everyone, this game's turned into a bit of a blowout. You're not wrong. Do or die game. Moana have to win it. And it's not even close. Canes are looking a fine side right now. Could the Canes beat the 89 plus that the Chiefs did? I don't think they're beating the 80 plus. They could get to 50, but it's been a little bit scrappy in the last few minutes, to be honest. Give me the Blues for the semis instead of the Canes, please, says Milo. Let me see. Let's imagine the Chiefs, Crusaders, Canes, and Brumbies make it. Yeah, then you do get the Canes. I think that's your most likely matchup. But then you could also get the Brumbies. Some of the structures falling away with Roygaard off. It can happen, eh? Especially with Brett Cameron having not played much 10 this year as well. He's been done remarkably well to get back from injury, though. How many likes are we up to? Did we make 50? Did we make 50? Someone tell me we made 50. Wish we could watch the game somewhere, Grace. There are probably streams available of it somewhere on the internet if you don't have Sky, but it's kind of like those use them at your own risk kind of streams. 51, Lance. Hoorah. I'll take that. Some good halfbacks in New Zealand right now, but none seem to have the same delivery of Aaron Smith. Yeah, his pass, though, was just unbelievable. I don't think anyone... Which halfbacks in the world have a pass like Aaron's? But like even Antoine Dupont doesn't have a pass anywhere near that. Smith's pass just sublime. Westlake v. Rossman in Coleridge next weekend. That's Tony's match. That's his old school. We got a bit of TMO, which is our first real TMO stoppage of the game. It's been remarkably TMO free, which has not been a bad thing. Oh, that's going to be a yellow card. It's a clean out to the head. He's at least getting yellow carded. Maybe even more. Hey, you guys are using the little emojis. The members emojis. Would look at you guys. Thank you for that. Yellow card threshold. He could have got a red for that, honestly. That was pretty dumb. I wonder if they'll upgrade it. How is the table looking? Yeah, so the Blues are going to finish on 6 wins and 8 losses. Moana 6 wins, 8 losses. The Waratahs 6 wins, 8 losses. Likely the Reds will finish with 8 wins and 6 losses. So every team in the playoffs, barring the Blues, will have a positive win-loss record, which is at least one good thing about the structure of the comp right now. We did cross 50 likes, apparently, Milo, so thank you for everybody for doing that. Yellow card is a threshold is a bit of a cop-out. Yeah, that one I feel like could have been a red, easy. But the ref just decides to leave it in the hands of the officials. Goodness me, Milo. 50 memberships. Do we even have 50 people watching? Cheers, man. That's awesome. Oh, Moana got a card, Grace. So they're down a man. And the Canes have just mauled right over Moana's line. So Tupu. The replacement hooker for the Canes has just scored a maul try. So the lead extends even further. And Milo, goodness me. Look at all these memberships. Bang, 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 bang. Oh, look at that. That's quite incredible. I've never seen anything like that, but the memberships have not been around very long on this channel. $42.7. Goodness me. Spam the boom, 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 boom. Yeah, look at those emojis that you can use now that you're members. Check them out. Holy gift spam, says Lion. You're not wrong. Genuinely never seen anything quite like that. Thank you for that, Milo. That's something a bit different. Love took those missed kicks against the Force personally. His radar's been on fire ever since. Yeah, he has been phenomenal ever since. And look, Blake, he's trying out the new emojis. There's a yellow card one, a red card one, a try one, a boom one. There you go. Sorry for anyone on the stream that didn't get it. According to the numbers, there's only 48 people who don't have, well, 40 people on the stream total. So it'd be crazy if anyone didn't get it. Why did Moana get yellow carded? There was just a high clean out to the head, man. It arguably could have been a straight red. So, yeah. It was pretty dumb play. It's just Grace, there's just like a Hurricanes guy standing over the ball at the ruck, and the Moana Pasifika player came in, just hit him straight in the head as he cleaned him out. So, just dumb, honestly. They still haven't made a call. I feel like it's borderline red. I will be interested to see if it's upgraded or not, because it arguably could have just been straight red. But they're kind of saving straight reds for like punches at this point. Is there a chance for the yellow to be upgraded? Indeed. Yeah. There's still 5 minutes left on the yellow card. It's still showing as yellow and red, as they haven't made a call yet. Gifted subs can go to anyone sub to your channel, not just people in the chat. Ah, that's how that works, Raven. Okay, you're teaching me things. I did not know that. Score a try so we can spam the try emote. That would be nice. Does height being a mitigating factor count at the ruck? I think it can. Mark, have you had a gander at Tim of XS's coverage of the Pro D2? Yeah, I can't watch it here because it's only for the UK, but that's amazing that the dude got the rights. They have scored a try. Spam the try emoji, any members, because that is try time for Moana Pasifika. That's the biggest cheer of the night, I think, despite the yellow card. And was it Adi Savia? Maul time. Driving, and then over. Look at those beautiful try emojis. Love to see it. Checked it out from Australia. on a VPN. Does a good job. French Rugby, something else. That's awesome. Oh, they missed the conversion, so it's 42-12. He must have some... Ooh. Remains a yellow card. All right, most of the force goes through the shoulder. They took a long look at that one. They took 7 minutes looking at that one. Bring it up to 60 likes now. There you go. Staying a yellow card. Get to 70 likes for 20 more gift memberships. There you go, folks. There's the gauntlet. It has been laid down by the man. Have the in-laws arrived yet? If so, how's it been? The in-laws are here. They have been here for almost 3 weeks. 3 weeks tomorrow. This is why I'm kind of locked up in my stream. Locked up in my bedroom at the moment. So, it's been alright. I haven't had to do much housework or cooking. Or like go to the supermarket for weeks now, because I basically just gave them my credit card and said, if you need to go buy vegetables or meat, here's your money. Go buy it. So they've been cooking, they've been cleaning. It's been pretty good. Proctor hasn't had as many touches as like Umaga Jensen in this game, eh? Oh, the Canes. Surely that was forward. And they're just taking out the ref. Angus Gardner just got flattened. It's all over the place. It's razzle-dazzle. The Canes are just chucking it around like it's a kid's game. Rakete Stones has just gone over. They'll have to have a look at that one. That was crazy. There was a drop ball. Did it go backwards? The ref got flattened. There were bonkers passes going on. Goodness me. Oh, your in-laws are in town. I wondered if they came to New Zealand much. They haven't been here in 10 years. Good to see you, April Tui, by the way. It's been a while. Yeah, they are here for the first time in a decade. That did go backwards. Ref got taken out. That passes backwards. That passes backwards. That passes backwards. And then Rakete Stones just kind of half dummy goes through. Tamoe Falau. Try time. Boom. Is the ref okay? He is indeed okay. Dan Bigger was on comms with him for the Briev match yesterday. That's cool as. They just do the comms remotely, or they can't be actually at the game, right? I assume he's just doing it remotely. I guess England's not that way far away from France. Did he head over to the game? It is 47-12, by the way. Yeah, man, busy bees. I haven't managed to join you. Miss you guys. Yeah, April 2, it's been good to see you. I know things get pretty hectic. Things have been hectic with my in-laws here. But, yeah. It's all good. Week 3 out of 16. That's where we're at. Tim does it remotely with Joe Worsley normally, but Worsley coaches a brief, so Bigger stepped in. Oh, there you go. That works. What is the like count, people? Did we get to 70? Or are we still short? Yellow card surely is almost over. Oh, here's Ruben Love. Intercept ball, but no, that's gone out. 62 so far. We are 8 likes away from 70, in which Milo will dump a bunch of a bunch more memberships, which are still ticking over, by the way. 16 weeks. Jesus, didn't get on with my in-laws, so never even did a day. Yes, we were not planning it to be 16 weeks, April Tui. When we said they should come over and see the kids because they hadn't been here in a decade, like we've been to see them a couple of times, we thought they might stay for a month or maybe 2. And then they just booked their tickets and we're like, wow, we booked the tickets. We're coming for 4 months. And it's like, what? It came as something of a surprise. Memberships are still popping up on the screen. Yeah, I get a ring in my ear every time it goes pring, every time it says someone has become a member. Well, it might have finished now. There you go. Oh, man, the Canes have just scored again. Let's see that try emoji, members. My gosh, Proctor gets one. Oh, man, look at this. Proctor just, after the loose ball, heads up, shimmy left, and just runs straight through. That's embarrassing. $67 likes. We're getting there. 3 more, folks. Can we get 3 more likes before the game is over? 10-minute comeback for Moana right now. They need 1 billion tries to get a bonus point. Yeah, pretty much. What is the try count at the moment? I think it's 8-2. So they need 6 to get equal and then 3 more. So 9 tries. Just 9 tries. Three more likes and we can get some more members from our man Milo. The scoreline is 52-12, by the way, with that Proctor try. The tackling from Moana there was somewhat lacking. Moana's put up so much more coherent fight than the Tars did. Similar scorelines, eh? Although at least Moana's bagged a couple of tries, which is more than we can say for the Tars. 71 likes. There we go, Lance. Thank you very much, the people, for crossing that next threshold. And there's 20 more memberships. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They keep going. Cheers, Mr. Milo. Look at all these people getting memberships. Some regulars and some names that I genuinely don't know. I assumed it always went to other people in the stream, not just to people who were subscribers on the channel. There could be another try here, folks. There's still 6 minutes. It could get to 60 points. No, I already know, says Gardner. Forwards are going up the guts for Moana, for the Canes. Who else wants a try? 5 phases there. 1 meter out. Inari's gone over. It's another one. My goodness. That's another try. Wish I could gift April Tui a membership. It is interesting that you can't control who they go to, but I guess there would be mechanics of that somehow. I think that try emoji actually looks the best of the bunch. It's the clearest. It's very clear that it says try. Shame for Artie. Can't imagine how it feels to go face down on your old team in an important match and getting absolutely flogged by them. Yeah, this was a kind of... Oh, he's got another one. This was the one where they just had to like do or die, eh? More on the line for them than for the Canes, but not even close. Love looks injured. Yeah, maybe. He does look to be having a little bit of tension on his face for a guy who just kicked a nice kick. He's holding his groin a bit. Maybe I'm doing that kick. Good choice of emotes. Maybe a trivia one. Yeah, maybe. What other emotes should there be for channel members? Trivia. Chiefs Blues next week. That is a rematch from last year's final. Memberships is just like you can join the channel as like a paid member and you get, oh, here goes Anari with another line break. Wide ball. And you get access to different emojis and stuff. I've never really used them because I've already got the Patreon, which has got, you know, like 100 people on there. So I never did memberships, but once I realized you could add live stream stuff, I just set it up. It's 99 cents memberships. 12 out of 20 for an emote. That could also be a good one. That's quite funny. Spec Savers. That's a good one. I could do the Spec Savers logo. That's quite good. Yes, Charlotte. It did stay a yellow card somehow. So ended Moana's season. Indeed, Moana's season is indeed done. Need a stats nerd to check which team has conceded the most points 2-game span. It's 144 for Moana Pasifika. Yeah, that's true. It's not been a great couple of weeks. After the highs of that Blues win, it's kind of fallen off a cliff, hasn't it? Sunwolves, maybe? Yeah, maybe. Sunwolves in 2016, how did they go? They lost 92-17 to the Cheetahs. And the week before they'd been beaten 46-19. So that's close. That is close. Just confirmed it's the Canes' biggest crowd this season. I had a settings on my browser that didn't allow for gifted memberships on YouTube. Oh, no way. Didn't even know that was a setting. Haven't been following Super this year, so the Blues have been struggling. The Chiefs have been phenomenally good. So right now, the top 6, which will be the top playoff sides, it's going to be Chiefs 1, Crusaders 2, Brumbies 3. That's your top 3. Then there's a gap. Those will be the 3 hosting teams, and the away teams in the playoffs will be the Canes, who have been on red-hot form at the tail end of the season. They started the season poorly. Then the Reds, and then the Blues. The Blues are just scraping through. They're the only team who hit the playoffs with a losing record. Everyone else has got a winning record. Canes want one more. Canes want one more, and they're going to get it. It's another one. That's another one. This is an absolute walloping. It is 60. And yeah, the Blues have just been playing some dire rugby, sadly, April Tui. It's been not easy on the eye, and it's not even been getting the results. Look at those try emojis. Blues will be whipped in the first round of the playoffs anyway. I think probable. I don't think anyone's beaten the Chiefs at the moment. But man, Moana's been whipped 2 weeks in a row, so maybe the Blues will give a better account of it. Makes me feel a little bit better about the Waratahs, Megan. Yeah, I feel you. At least the Waratahs had a win last week. Brett Cameron misses the final kick. So that is the game. Will there be a Gaza review? I believe there will be. So I will hang around for a minute or two while Gaza likely sends through his review. That kind of rhymed, which I didn't mean to. Oh, God, I'm still rhyming. Stop it, Mark. Stop talking. But, yeah. Hopefully the Blues are finding some form to keep the first playoff competitive. I always want competitive games. So those are my favourite ones to watch, the ones that go down to the wire. But 64-12, that's not competitive. That's a real hiding. Crowd looks to be pretty happy with that. That is the end of Moana's season. It's their best season ever, but just short. Finished with a better record than the Tars, well, same win-loss record. Better record than the Force, the Drua, and the Landers. Moana played their final 2 weeks against the Blues. I think you're not too far from it, Kiwi Rob, eh? All right. Here's my dad's message before we check out.
Jesus, we thought the bloody Blues gave the bloody Waratahs. Well, this was absolutely bloody mess. Even with the injuries that the bloody Hurricanes had, they didn't stop them like an avalanche. What a massive massacre. I didn't pick it, but I'm glad they won, and so is Dawn. Yeah, Ruben Love could be out next week. It looks like he might have hurt a groin. The others didn't look too bad, but they got a bit of depth in that Hurricane squad, and they're going to bloody need it to beat the Brumbies over there. They've done it once, they can do it again. Well, we played well, and the bloody Hurricanes just bloody blew them off the park. And, Jesus, what a performance, even by their replacements. Hey, just unbelievable game. Just, lost for words, really. Rep was okay, 13 out of 20. Yeah, well, I enjoyed the game. And thought, I thought the bloody Blues were good, but I think the Hurricanes are better.
I think he's right.
And Moana Pasifika got a couple of good tries. But they were just flat tonight like they were last week against the Chiefs, not quite as bad, but they didn't they didn't gel or anything. So they got a bloody hiding. I felt a bit sorry for them in the finish, to be honest and fair. They got bloody hammered again. So glad they haven't got any more games to play. I think their game against the Blues was their turning point, but I also think it was their turning down point.
That's what Q Rob said.
Yeah, Angus Gunn, 13 out of 20, he had a good game.
13, look at that.
And the Hurricanes, are they going to beat the Brumbies? Well, we'll have to wait and see. They got a few injuries, so see how they recover during the week. And the yellow card was right. They've certainly got a bit of depth at the Hurricanes, and they'll be difficult in Canberra. Can they win? Yes, they can. Will they? Well, we'll wait and see. We can't say too much because we know how good the Brumbies are. We know how good these guys are. So I think there's going to be a few All Blacks out of this play Hurricanes team, McMurray.
That's me.
Certainly going to get a few All Blacks, and if they don't, well, it'll be disappointing. Up to Scott Robertson, Ryan, and Holland, and had to. All the bloody rest of them, so we'll see, but I was pretty happy with the performance. Probably 8, 9 out of 10, actually. They did really bloody well.
One more.
Last but not least, well, I think they might thrash them, but I didn't think they beat them by this much. And it's going to be exciting next week. Can the Blues beat the Chiefs? Well, I don't know.
That's the question.
The Hurricanes and the Chiefs have got a few injuries, but they've both got good depth. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And if bloody Love doesn't play next week, you'll be Callum Harkin. None of the Hurricanes played badly, and Marty Sabia played well for the young halfback for the Pasifika played well. Thought a couple of the Pasifika boys played all right. I mean, they were just outclassed on the day. They never gave up, which was good to see. Gazamania, Rogermania out by.
Well, that's Gaz's final thoughts on the game. And yeah, it was Milo that did all the gifted memberships for that one. So cheers to Milo for being a generous chap. Thank you for everybody doing the like-in and joining me for the stream, even if it was a bit of a blowout in the end. So we have all the teams locked in for the qualifying round of playoff matches for Super Rugby. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for being here. Gazza reckons it's a 13 out of 20 display for the ref, which is, that's a high rating for him. He usually goes with a 12, but he's gone with a 13. But yes, thank you guys for being here. Was there anything else I needed to say before we wrap it up? It's a good win for the Canes. Good for my Blues, because that means we secure 6th spot, which you get rewarded for a game against the top of the table Chiefs. But anyway, Milo was asking when's the next stream. I will in all likelihood stream one of the playoff matches once I have seen what the kind of kickoff times and whatnot are for them. Probably more likely a Saturday than a Friday, but I will see what the fixtures list looks like. But yes, hope you guys are all doing good. Thank you for being here. Cheers again to Milo for gifting all those memberships to people. That is top stuff for chatting away and doing the liking and all that stuff. Painful Blues stream. Maybe watching my Blues get humiliated might be an interesting one to stream, Milo, mate. So let's tentatively lock that one in. We'll pencil it in. And once I confirm the times and whatnot, I will set everything up. But yes, thank you folks for being here. I'll catch you guys for another one at some point soon. Take care of yourselves. See you.